And I want you to know I attended a meeting earlier this week, and we were talking about who was presenting what. And when Stephanie's name came up, it was a mystery. So she is presenting July 13th, 08. Here's what happened. I don't know what happened, so we're going to find out. What I can tell you is that Stephanie is 27. She's an identical twin who was born and raised in Hartford, Michigan, and now lives in Dowagiac. She graduated from Ferris State University in 2008 with an associate's degree in architectural technology. She's married with 2 children. She enjoys smiling and laughing. Who doesn't? Her hobbies include horseback riding, outdoor activities, playing with her kids, and family time with her 4 siblings. So let's welcome Stephanie Holland. You guys hear me okay?
Yep.
So you heard a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm an identical twin, and family is a big deal to me. It's something that I'm really passionate about, so I wanted to share a little story about something that happened to my family back in July of 2008. Some of the things that we see all the time are ads like this. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drink and drive. We've heard of MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We've heard of FAD, Fathers Against Drunk Driving. But I think we should all kind of take heed to these words as adults. I feel like most of these types of ads are geared towards freshly 21-year-old kids or college kids, but really all of us as adults need to do our part in abiding by the law and just doing what's right, and understanding the consequences if we don't. Some statistics about alcohol: as every 2 minutes, a person is injured in a drunk driving accident. In 2014, 67% of drunk drivers involved in fatal car crashes were over the age of 24, which is your normal college kid and under. They were all over that age. One in every 3 people will be involved in an alcohol-related car crash in their lifetime. On average, drunk driver drives 80 times before they're first arrested. In the state of Michigan, in 2014, there were 9,396 alcohol-related car accidents. There were 167 in Berrien County. 66.4% of all alcohol-related fatal car crashes involve only 1 car. So with those statistics in mind, I want you to meet my sister, Allie. I'm the youngest of 5 kids. Allie is kind of the glue that holds the family together. She's very passionate and loud and spunky, and this story has to do with her specifically, but it affects us all as a family since we're so close. On July 13th, 2008, Allie and some of her friends were out in South Haven having a good time out, and after the bars closed down, they decided to come home. They had a designated driver. They drove south on I-196 heading towards Benton Harbor. The designated driver decided to pull over because somebody in the car was getting sick. So he put his blinker on, pulled his car over to the side of the road, put his flashers on, and got all the way to the left of the rumble strips. Allie's friend and herself, Allie, got out of the vehicle. Allie got out to assist her friend, and they went and stood behind, near the trunk of the car off the road. Unfortunately, there was another driver coming that same direction south on I-196 and ended up hitting the vehicle. Allie was actually sitting behind the driver's seat, and as you can see, if she had not gotten out of the car, she would have most definitely died, is what the state police told us. The designated driver of this vehicle, Allie's vehicle, also suffered some traumatic head injuries. Luckily, the friend that Allie was outside of the car assisting wasn't injured at all. But when Allie was struck as a pedestrian, the vehicle was going over 70 miles an hour and flung her 60 plus yards down the road. Allie was taken to Kalamazoo Hospital. She was in the intensive care unit for 2 weeks. Some statistics about Allie in that accident: she was 23 years old when she got hit. She's had over 18 surgeries since then. She had 3 teeth busted out of the front of her face. One of those 18 surgeries was a brand new knee. She has had hundreds of pieces of glass pulled out of her chest, out of her neck, out of her face, and her head. This is what Allie looked like in intensive care. You see that metal fixture on her left leg? That's called an external fixator. Her entire left leg was completely shattered in the accident, and those metal bars were holding her leg together. On her right leg, you can see it's all wrapped up. Her right ankle was almost fully detached from her leg. The only thing holding it together was her Achilles tendon. She suffered road rash from head to toe. She had gouges taken out of her hip, out of her shoulder. She had hair missing from part of her scalp being scraped off on the road. So this was a really hard time for our family. And even though it was hard, it pulled us closer together. My 5 siblings, my parents and I, we never left that hospital for 2 weeks. I mean, I think the nurses were kind of sick of us sleeping in the lobby, but we didn't care. After Allie got out of the hospital, she had to live with my mother for a little while. It was harder for her to get back in the swing of things, obviously, I'm sure you can imagine. So my siblings and I would take turns, who would stay up at night with her. We bought walkie-talkies, and she'd direct us around the house to do things. It was actually a lot of fun. And it was our job as her siblings to kind of pull through and do the fun things that she used to do. We made sure she got out and got around. I brought my new puppy over to see her while she was staying at Mom's. She took her out to go shopping, took her fishing. That was really important to us because, Allie made it. And a lot of people don't get to say that when they're in types of accidents like this. But naturally, Allie has all those cool scars to show off, right? Well, my siblings and I decided, it's a cousin of mine and some family members, that we wanted to share in that. So about 1.5 years after the accident, we all went and got tattoos, matching scars that Allie has. My twin sister, that's her ankle. My brother got a scar from Allie's knee. My mother even got a tattoo around her ankle as well. And tattoos are cool naturally, but the biggest reason why we wanted to get those tattoos is so that people will ask us about them. What do those numbers going down your leg mean? Why did you get that? Well, here's why. And lead into, they did the right thing. They had a designated driver, but it was somebody else on the road that drove drunk and hit them. Since Allie's been with us, she's been able to be an amazing aunt to 5 nieces and a nephew. She's pregnant with her first child on the way. She's been able to be a part of my wedding, my siblings' weddings, family events, Christmases, holidays, and that's all something that could have just gone away in the blink of an eye on July 13th, but it didn't. Allie's one of my best friends. She's my partner in crime. There's some words up here on the screen. I'm sure hopefully everybody can relate to one of these words. Drinking and driving, you may not think that it could never happen to me. That's what I used to think. But it could happen to my sister. It could happen to anybody, maybe it doesn't happen to you personally in this room, but it could cause something to happen to somebody else that matters to people in this world. So please don't drink and drive.